speaking the truth because of what guys consider. You don't know nothing about it. Ain't 20v1. It's a. I'm sorry. Ain't 20v1. It's a 1v20. If I gotta smack niggas that right with you, yeah, bring them out too. I clear them out too. Tell Bean that he better stay right with you. And my battle ain't go so AI. Nigga feeling like Joel Austin. Something he was in a film called AI. And my sixth sense telling me to off it. OVO. All right. Here we go. Niggas right in the coffin. Yeah, OVO niggas is dick riders. Tell them run to America to imitate heritage. They can't imitate this violence. What I learned that niggas don't like the lust colors, and I'm fine with it. I'll push the line with it. Hey, listen to a song too much. I'm just saying. Hey, welcome to the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Sunday afternoon, ready to do some podcasting. Karen is fresh from a nap. Yeah. Because we just had like a moment where it's breaking news. It was breaking news, and everybody called me on my phone. Karen was napping, and at first I wasn't gonna, tell her. I was like, oh well, she's asleep. Why? We don't need to do a show. We could take the day off. And then like some from my friends called me, my mom called me and stuff. I said, this is a pretty big deal, and I know she's sleeping in peace, but the people, I'm sure they want to know what we have to say about things. I'm sure they want to know. They listen because they want to know what we have to think. So I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do a show. It don't have to be long. And so she agreed. The official weapon of the show is
folding chair.
And the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
A bullet ball. Extreme. And I guess we can go ahead and get right into it after I play some music so I can get some money for talking about this. All right, so the breaking news: Joe Biden has stepped down from running for president, not as president. He will continue to serve out the rest of his term, meaning in November he'll be handing over the White House to somebody, whether that be Donald Trump or whether that be whoever the nominee is for the Democratic Party. We'll find out together in November. He sent out a tweet that said like a statement about how he's stepping down from running, and it was no mention of anybody other than just thanking the American people, all that stuff. And then like maybe a couple minutes later, he sent out another tweet that was his full-throated endorsement of Kamala Harris, saying she's going to take over. She of course still has access to the money. He actually sent another tweet after that saying donate to her here at the link to their fund for running for president. So I think this seemed to be very coordinated behind the scenes. People were saying stuff like, oh my God, the Democrats, what a disaster. This is so, but I didn't really take it that way, because the way stuff was rolling out, it seems like at least between the major players that are active involved in his presidency, it's clearly there's been a plan. This wasn't like a thing they decided today. It's a thing they announced today, but it's something that they must have decided for a while. I saw leaks from Kyle Griffin, who was like a storied inside reporter that's kind of embedded with the Biden administration. So his leaks are always stuff that the Biden administration would like us to know. And they said like Joe Biden has sat down with Kamala Harris and they've started doing like basically research and stuff into her viability as the candidate. And this was like last maybe Wednesday or something and I took a note of it because it's who it was from. And Also, I got some, those like texts that you get that are like, can you give us some money? I started getting texts that I took a screenshot of one of them. It was like, would you vote for Kamala Harris if she was the thing? And this is from the, vote blue Joe Biden shit. And I was like, that is an interesting thing to send out on a Friday after y'all just been sending me give the money to Joe, vote for Joe all this time. Cause it's not like it's coming from someone else, and I was like, I took note of it, but I was like, we'll see. And then today that same number sent me a, hey, Kamala Harris is running, donate with the same, and it's the same link. And I'm like, okay, so y'all, it was something in the works, obviously, because a decision like this isn't a slapdash decision. It took like you decided this and then you're telling us now. How long ago? I don't know, but clearly something happened. I have a lot of mixed feelings on it. I'm sure you do too, especially just hearing this. And I've had time to process it. I've talked to several people for a couple hours about it. So I'm probably cool, calm, and collected about it, as opposed to when I first saw it and I just kind of was like, my adrenaline was all over the place and I was scrolling, reading everybody's thoughts and putting together my thoughts. I'm gonna hand it over to you, but let me just first say I'm exactly how I said the whole time that this shit has been happening. Nothing's changed for me. I said if it's not Joe, that's fine. I'm still voting Democrat, but it just needs to be Kamala Harris. That's my only real anything else, and I honest to God do not know what the fuck y'all are doing. But if it's Kamala, I'm cool because that's what a VP is for. And I think she's capable. I actually think she's a great candidate. People think she's a bad candidate. I think because of how low they have the bar for her, she's going to jump over that shit easily because they just think she's terrible as like a person and a candidate and everything. They need to like feel in love with a candidate. And I think this is a great moment for exactly who Kamala Harris is. And I don't just mean it demographically. Obviously, it's a great moment because she's a woman. Abortion has been an issue she's been actually going around the country talking about, women's access to that. And I don't know if y'all have noticed the last 2 years of elections, but women, including white women, have been coming out and forcefully going to the polls and voting against these Republicans and against these Roe v. Wade laws and rules and stuff. So I think it is a moment for a woman to be running because of that. Like, I think the biggest movement in our nation right now that's kind of not being talked about is the attack on women's rights and birth control's next. Everyone keeps saying all this stuff, but having an old white man try to articulate to those issues is different than having a woman who can articulate to those issues. I think also more importantly, not for everyone else. Obviously, what I just said is probably the most important issue for most people, but more importantly for me as a person that hates Trump, this motherfucker's a criminal. And we are dealing with his lawless, corrupt party, and she is a prosecutor. And for all that shit everybody had to say with the memes and the propaganda about cops and all that bullshit, I hear what y'all saying. In 2024, I need some copping. I need some motherfucking prosecuting. I don't need it to be somebody with a dime bag, but this motherfucker who they trying to get presidential immunity, I absolutely would love to see him attacked as a criminal. And I think Kamala Harris, especially if we can get her as the nominee and get into that second debate, I think she will shine on his criminal ass and keep bringing it back to you're a motherfucking criminal in a way that Biden just was not able to do and was not going to do during that debate. Like, you needed someone with that energy of, hey, your ass got to fucking go. And maybe this turns the page on some of this news coverage because it was becoming very distracting how they were trying to turn every single thing Joe Biden did into something damning. And it was stuff that they normally let slide. So I'm not talking about the debate. That was obviously bad. I saw that myself. But I'm talking about like, oh, he stumbled over a word. He been doing that. He got someone's name wrong. He been doing that. Y'all are making it lead in breaking news basically when he does that. Well, if he's not the fucking candidate anymore and he does that stumble over a word shit as president, I feel like a lot of people gonna be, there won't be a story there. They won't be like, oh, he fucked up Putin's name, because it's like, well, he's not even running for office, so what are we talking about? And y'all aren't asking him to step down as president, so what were you ever really talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what were y'all really saying in the first? Y'all didn't want this guy to run. And so, like I said, I'll just start with those 2 points that I'm cool with it. It's been long enough or whatever. I was more shocked at the, like, oh, damn, they really just saying it. But I feel like it was self-fulfilling prophecy. They eroded the goodwill. They turned the news stories into everything he does is he should not be president. And there was no way out of the cycle. Anytime he would say, I'm staying in, let's just go, everybody would go, he's defiantly saying he's staying in. We need to have a conversation about, and it just kept turning into like, you will never accept that he's staying in. So at what point do you have to bow out because they won't let us move on? Like, I don't know if they were going to wait all the way till he was the nominee, but I guess maybe he didn't want to risk doing the DNC, coming out the nominee, and then these stories continue to happen as he shouldn't even be running. So maybe for the good of the party, for the good of the country, he stepped down in his own way. I can see that logic. Karen? And did you need me to read the statement or anything? You good?
Oh, what was the statement? It was, because I don't know.
It was what you would think. It wasn't anything profound. It was exactly what you would think. You know, it's like, it's a great honor to serve the people, blah blah. Like, there was nothing controversial about this. My fellow Democrats, I've decided not to accept the nomination to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as a party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. It has been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. That was his endorsement tweet. And his statement tweet is probably like 3 or 4 paragraphs, but I think you get the
just the standard type of stuff where like it's 20-something minutes. So I mean, like, for me, like I just say, all this information, I'm waking up and I'm receiving it like instantly. And so yeah, I've actually calmed down a little bit. Just a little bit.
No, I think you and me to an extent, you know, and a lot of people, a lot of black people especially, are angry, and I think rightfully so. And I'm sure you're gonna explain why you're angry. I think for me at least, a large part of this is like, these white folks really just could not take it and got their way again. And the thing that is worrying is that we don't know yet that this is good enough, because they may try to do some more machinations now that they got something out of it that they wanted. We don't know that they're going to stop at, okay, it's Kamala. We said we wanted him to step down. He did it. Let's just give him his credit and say thank you, rather than do this bull. Why didn't he do it a year ago? Well, he wasn't stumbling over shit in the debate a year ago. You guys know the same fucking thing we all know. And since then, he's been back to what he normally would be, and you say that's not good enough. So y'all move the goalpost and then try to pretend that he's always been this terrible president. But the administration accomplishments are not the problem, right? I was talking to a friend, and he was like, you know, the thing is, it's like taking over a college team as a coach when like the team is down. They just went 3-9. I said, actually, it's not. I said, this is like taking over for a team that was like 9-2. And the coach fucked up somehow. You know what I mean? The coach got into a scandal. And you just coming in going, I can coach this team to 10-1. Like, getting from 9-2 to 10-1, I can do that. That's really the job right now, which is why which is why you see, because if it was that fucked up, they wouldn't be trying to stop Joe Biden from running. Democrats would just be like, the Democrats that have decided he should be out, they'd be like, we're abandoning ship. This party's in trouble. We're losing. The economy's bad. This is bad. This is bad. No. The economy, the metrics, everything's doing really good compared to every other nation. So what this is now is trying to swap out that coach that you just don't like, who kept getting y'all to the playoffs or whatever, but you can't win the championship as far as you're concerned. So that's why I don't even think it's I think that's what is bothersome to people, is that it's a lot of people that are like, this wasn't even good enough. You got him out of here. Some of y'all don't sound committal to Harris already. It's now time to kiss the ring. This is it. We don't have more time to fuck around. It's 4 months out, less than 4 months now. We don't have time for no new campaigns. America doesn't need to get introduced to no new Democrats. Some of these motherfuckers don't have a national platform, and they don't have the money to do anything nationally right now. And the primaries are over, so they can't vie for the seat that way. We need to make this as simple as possible, because it's going to get contested in court, period. This needs to be as simple as possible, as everything transfers to her. Everyone supports her. They pick a VP, and we move in lockstep forward. No more infighting. That's what this moment should be. Sorry, I can't go ahead.
I'm still kind of processing the whole thing, and my true, y'all gonna go, I'm not gonna say through the emotional roller coaster, but just kind of my thought process. When Roger first told me, I was like, it's like my mind said, what? Like, for real? And then in my mind said, wow, for real? Like, y'all already made this nigga step down. And then from that, it instantly turned into anger. Like, full-fledged, I want to burn this motherfucker down anger. Very and highly, and still a little bit upset. And the biggest reason why is because I am not fucking around. I don't like Donald Trump. I remember how I felt when he got voted in. I will never forget that feeling. I don't have no short-term memory. I know what this country turned into. I know how fucked up it was. I remember how this nigga handled COVID. I remember. Millions of people in this country died because of his incompetence. They stole and robbed from the federal government. All these things that's happening on in the federal government and shit like this, all this money and shit they don't have, is because he put people in that stole from it. A lot of them niggas went to jail. All those people around him that got them positions, a lot of them are locked up and they went to jail and are convicted felons just like him. And I personally think that Joe Biden ran for the good of the country. And I know people don't want to hear that, particularly people that don't like Joe Biden. Joe Biden literally ran because he actually believes in this. I mean, really, truly believes in this country. That's the only reason he ran in the first place. And he was like, he had to live through Trump too. Y'all remember, he had to live through the bullshit Trump was doing too. So he's sitting at the house for 4 years looking at the bullshit he's doing and going, after all the things Barack did, you're literally coming in. For those of you that said Obama didn't do shit, President Obama didn't do shit. When Trump came in, almost everything they could legally redo without going through Congress and voting, they did. They turned and flipped back all types of shit. Shit that people thought was settled, shit that people thought was in law. But he didn't do nothing though. It was breaking fucking news all the goddamn time. All of a sudden, such got turned back. All of a sudden, such got turned back. All of a sudden, such got stripped down. All of a sudden, such got stripped down. I remember this. Joe Biden was at home listening to the same bullshit too. And in his mind, he felt like a lot of other people, like, fuck that nigga. So he ran. And when he ran, all these other candidates had a chance to win too. They did, y'all. And I will say this, and I will continue to say this. The onus is on the American populace. We're the voters. We are the people that put them in the position, not them. They just throw their hats in the ring and then try to court our votes. We, as the populace, are the people to do this. All this shit everybody said they wanted, they had a chance to run. Everybody. The blacks, the gays, the women, LGBTQ, everybody had a chance to run. And one by one, there was something wrong with them. There was something wrong with them. From the populace to the way they were covered in the news to people just not giving money. Everybody, even independents had chances to throw their hats in the ring. Everybody had a chance to run. Everybody and their mama ran. And one by one, they went down in flames because there was no perfect candidate. Everybody had a flaw. Everybody had a flaw. Whatever that flaw was, everybody had a flaw. Okay, cool. So at the end of the day, you get a white man and everybody complain. But the time to complain and bitch and moan was during the process when it was open primaries and anybody could be on. That time is over and that window has closed, okay? In my mind, that window has closed and none of them beat him, okay? We get behind him. Is old white man off. And black people, particularly black people in the South, know white people better than white people know themselves. And it was one of them things where I was like, oh, it has to be a white man off. Anybody else will lose. And Biden showed that anybody else literally would have lost. Because Biden got the most votes of like any president in history. And Trump got the second most votes of any person in history. So people voted, and people voted in fucking record ass numbers. They voted. Okay. He get in office, and most of his time is spent cleaning shit up. And a lot of his time is spent from the time he first got in, is spent from people saying things that he never said and saying he campaigned on shit that he never fucking campaigned on. These were other people's ideas that he was running against, other people's things, and all of a sudden it's Joe, you said this, and Joe, you said that, and Joe, we're gonna hold your feet to the fire to this, and Joe. And I get it. And the thing about Biden is that Biden is like, if y'all put me in a position to do it, I will. He's not stuck to these things. He's like, hey, whatever y'all want, I'll do it, but y'all have to put me in a position to do it. You can't give me $1.25 and send me to the store and tell me, I need to feed the whole family. It don't work like that. And this is why I said it all goes back to the voting populace. When it was time to vote, them off terms, when niggas don't show up, that shit matters. You need to put people in Congress. You need to put people in Senate. All this shit goes back to the voting populace. And so he runs. All of a sudden, things start changing. All of a sudden, I can finally get a COVID shot. All of a sudden, people start hiring again. All of a sudden, economy start, like, all this shit start changing, and all this shit start turning around under Biden's watch. And all these people that complain, eventually a lot of them had to shut the fuck up because a lot of the shit that y'all complained about, he did. So you didn't have nothing to complain about. So all you did was consistently push the line. Consistently push the line where nothing he ever did was good enough. And so I think the right thing to do was for him to continue to run. And because I know, and he showed that it would work. He showed that the Democratic Party, which is the tentpole party, which means we are not unified on a lot of shit. We all have different issues we bring to the table. We all have different platforms we bring to the table. We all have different needs that are wanted. Like everything is in there. And also, just with anything else, you're dealing with white people. So, racism is always going to play a part in a lot of shit. It just is. And so, we together until something affects white people. And then all of a sudden, everybody else got to look at them like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? We've been through this, but because Joe Biden looks like their uncle or their daddy or their pop or whatever, everybody said, okay, we'll get behind Joe. So, now all of a sudden the shit before that didn't matter starts mattering. All this fumbling and bumbling and all this shit, it starts mattering. And the only reason why it matters is because so many people panicked so bad after the debate. Okay, truthfully, I didn't see it. Okay, so I don't have the anxiety and the feelings and things like that tied behind it. But it's just like I said, this is me talking. Nigga, we already knew he was old. This is not shocking nor surprising. Both of them niggas old. But like I said before, you would never see the other side. Donald Trump could get on stage and shit himself, and they would still be like, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump could get on stage, literally pull his pants down and say, America, suck my dick. And they will still vote for Donald Trump. No matter what. There has not been one article that I've heard from the other side that says Donald Trump needs to be removed. Donald Trump needs to resign. Donald Trump and a lot of them don't like him. It's a lot of them that don't like him. They prefer anybody else but him. But you know what they're doing? They're grinning and bearing it and voting because at the end of the day, they want to win. They want to win no matter what. And on this side, it's a lot of whiners and a lot of complainers and a lot of criers and a lot of floppers. And a lot of people, the second they don't get their way, they want to fold their arms and act like it's the end of the world and cry because they didn't get their way. It's not unified. It's not, hey, we need to get behind this candidate no matter what. We want to win no matter what. We hate Donald Trump, just like Joe Biden. A lot of people on the Democratic Party don't hate Donald Trump as much as Joe Biden hates Donald Trump, as much as I hate Donald Trump. And you can tell by the way they respond. I hate that man. I don't want him in office. He's a terrible person. He was a terrible president. And a lot of people, they don't have that hate towards him not winning. So this is why we have to deal with this, and we have to do a lot of coddling. We have to do a lot of coaching, a lot of talking, a lot of, oh, don't leave, and a lot of
I understand you going through the rundown of like President Joe Biden and stuff, but how do you feel about the news though? I know he stepped down, but like, do you feel a way about Kamala Harris? And do you feel a way about like, is this now like what's up now? You know what I mean? Because I know this a lot to process. You literally just woke up. I'm not like, I understand. I'm just trying to see like, have you given any thought to the future? Because this is all stuff we've talked about in the past with Biden. And obviously I agree with everything you're saying, as we've said on the show before. Is any thoughts on Kamala Harris's prospects?
I'm going to vote on whoever the nominated person is. I said it and I meant it. I'm going to vote for him. Don't have a problem with it. I hate Donald Trump. Okay? I'm going to vote for them no matter what. Because the other person is not a valuable option, and voting is not voting is not an option for me. Okay, the end. But Kamala better win it. Don't be going in there with no bullshit when it's time to vote. Don't be going in there with no bullshit when it's time throwing motherfuckers' names in the hat. Don't nobody fucking. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Y'all got what y'all wanted. And see, this is where the anger come out. Y'all got what y'all wanted. He stepped down, okay? He stepped down. He stepped down. So we're here now. He stepped down. The nigga stepped down. We here now. So y'all better get behind his VP and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want no other person other than her.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like I've had a little bit more time to process, but I've been thinking about this possibility for weeks at this point. And I'm excited for her to run. Like, I think the only thing that would fuck up the excitement is if they continue to try to have machinations behind the scenes or in public and try to take her down, which could happen. I don't want to be looking at MSNBC saying Kamala Harris coughed today, or whatever the fuck bullshit they've been doing to Joe Biden all this time. I actually think it benefits her that she does not have to be president. I think no one's really talked about this, but I would like to look forward to some positive things, because I know where there's anger to be had too. But I think not having to be president is such a benefit to her, because she ain't got to give no speeches at the UN. There's no press conference gaffes that you have to do. All she really got to do is campaign shit. You can be that energy. She's younger than him. She's younger than Trump. I think she's really good at attacking people, especially Trump. I think it's a strength we haven't gotten to see because it's VP. How much of your job is really getting out there attacking people? Because you're not really running yourself. It's all about, I believe in Joe. I believe in Joe. I believe in Joe. But I would love to see her be able to be like, no, this dude is an existential threat and we can't fuck around, and voice the same thing you just voiced about how Trump is dangerous and shouldn't be in charge. I doubt he'll debate her, but I'd love to see it.
That's what I was going to say. No, he's not.
I doubt he will. I'm sure he'll make up some, he's a coward, but he'll make up like she's an illegitimate candidate or something.
Mm-hmm.
I am nervous about the court system, but it's nothing we can do. The choice is made.
Mm-hmm.
There's big money on both sides. Hopefully the money and the time and the lawsuits and stuff, hopefully that shit works out. I think we've had situations where someone stepped down in the past from a nomination and it wasn't like that person that became the nominee didn't get to run for president. Even if they lost, it wasn't like contested on the ballot, but who knows with that part. At this point, you can't worry about it. I'm assuming Joe Biden's administration and people did the math, and they said, what is worse? We lose because of the self-fulfilling erosion of momentum to my campaign,
right?
But at least I stuck it out. Or we run Kamala, possibly win, and then it gets contested in court and we have to fight. I think they made the best of the decisions that lay before them.
Yeah, yes.
It sucks to me that it doesn't feel like the voters decided this.
Nope, it does not.
I guess you could argue if we had a time machine, right? And you knew, like, if we had a time machine where that debate existed before it was time for the primaries, maybe people would feel differently. Like maybe they would vote differently. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened. We don't have a time machine.
Right.
So it does feel like some people that were mostly represented by rich white dudes came in and decided we're ending this guy's campaign. He hasn't done anything to deserve it, really. We don't truly feel that he shouldn't be president because we're not actually trying to do any of the steps to stop him to be president. We just don't want him to run because we think he won't beat Trump. It feels like they found a way to take the power out of the people who voted hands and say, we're doing this ourselves. And we won't know till November if this is something that worked and was a good idea or not, to be honest. And we also won't know for at least a few weeks if this is enough. That's the most key important part, because I think this could be a great boost. I've been watching the news coverage and it's all these Kamala Harris is a beautiful woman and stuff, but it's all these pictures of her smiling and like just these hopeful fucking, just a montage of pictures of just, like this is look at this young beautiful president, that vibe, almost like the Obama 2008, where it's like every pic, like, because they whenever they don't want to say something nice about it, they got a bunch of other pictures they put out there, and these pictures are all just like a beauty pageant basically. And I'm like, there is something to this, because there is a relief that is happening amongst a lot of people, not just a relief of kind of, not just a relief of the people that are like, I want him to step down, but there's also a relief of like, so we can finally stop just making the news cycle this over and over, and maybe move on to some things that we actually would like to talk about, like the accomplishments of the administration,
right?
Like the danger of Donald Trump, like the hope of things we want to accomplish, rights that people would like to get back. Can we do that? Because when Joe Biden would try to do that, y'all just would not want to talk about that. You just want to say he was old. And maybe this is obviously too hopeful, but maybe we even get but I'm allowing myself to be hopeful today. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. I want to be like the rest of these niggas. But maybe we get back to talking about some of this fucked up shit that Trump is going to do.
Right.
Because I feel like in this cycle with the Biden shit, it just went to the wayside. No one's talking about any of this shit that Trump says. It just keeps going back to, and Biden was this, and is Biden going to run? And so maybe we get something bigger than that. And also, this is a good story for ratings in that media should cover this. Meaning, they wanted piece of candy. I think the Biden shit was piece of candy. They couldn't. It was like, we could talk about other things, but what's going to keep people watching the channel? Is Joe Biden going to run? Okay, here they come, right? So I kind of think positively, there's some hopeful aspects to it, and I can't wait to see what she can do on the campaign trail and attacking Trump, because that's really what I want to see. And they're going to attack her, but that's part of running for president. I just would like to see this attack stop happening from the inside.
Yes.
I'm a little worried too about these gullible fools and the Russian propaganda machine cranking up again, because they fell for that shit last time. I was saying this privately to some people. I'm gonna say it out loud here too, because it's important. And I know everyone that wants to write in, don't even write in about this. I know you're special and you're the exception, but I'm just telling you how it seems to me and what it feels like. I think a lot of this stuff is influenced by social media. I think a lot of the social media stuff is influenced by bad faith actors who guide the conversations, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying this Joe Biden thing was necessarily that, because that did happen on national TV in a debate, and it is news media that's picking it up. It's not totally a Twitter thing. But let me just say, have anyone else noticed, and maybe it's just me, almost all of the genocide Joe Palestine stuff stopped right as the replace Joe Biden for being old stuff started.
Yes.
And they haven't really mixed. It hasn't been like this combination thing where it's like people just literally moved on to, no, get him out because he's old. And the reason I bring that up is because obviously if he's stepping down, there's no need to get him out because he's old. I wonder if the next thing is bringing back some of this Kamala Harris, like, propaganda of she's a cop and we don't need no cops, even though that moment is clearly past for a lot of people. But I do wonder if they just hit the button on the next propaganda machine and people take up that online thinking that it's organic and that, this is just what we're talking about, when honestly, I don't trust the levers of social media. I don't trust the conservative men that run it. I don't trust the algorithms that guide it. So I think there will be attacks on Kamala Harris that are not organic. And I hope that people don't take that up, because I just think there's 4 months left and we don't have enough time for that. It would be nice if people could just be enthusiastic, because at this point, you just need to get behind your candidate.
Yes, that. And also the thing is, as somebody who I'm voting for Kamala, anybody that makes it, but my thing is it better be Kamala, type of thing, and I will stay on that ship. And also, truth be told, the way Biden stepped down, like you said, the way they did it, they took it out of the voting populace's hand. And so as somebody that voted for Joe Biden, it feels like a form of betrayal because I didn't get to vote. I didn't vote that man out. Y'all pushed and or forced that man out of office not to run again. I got the right to be mad, so fuck my feelings. But yeah, I have to sit here and listen to y'all fucking flop for 4 months about him being old and shit like this. Like y'all feelings trump everybody else's. They don't. Other people have feelings too. And my thing is that this ain't got nothing to do with Kamala. When it run, it was Biden Kamala. I voted for Joe Biden. And so it would have been different if something would have happened to him. But he stepped down. I personally don't think because he wanted to. I think he stepped down because he was forced to, and I am angry because of that. I will feel like that, and I probably will feel like that forever, because I do not feel like a lot of this shit was sincere. I do feel like a very, very tiny percent of the population came in and threw their money at the problem and was like, we're going to get him out. Okay, he's out. So what do we do from here? Let's go ahead and go through the process. Like Roger said, I'm very hopeful that the process will be simple. And I hope it just goes through and flow like it should. But if it does not, I'm coming for you next.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I've had more time to process it. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding two things at once because I'm not letting. I am also upset, and I do think if they lose, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? But I'm not worried. I'm not gonna. I don't want, like, once again, I don't like thinking defeatist like that because that's been my problem with them the whole time. These motherfuckers that have been like, Trump gets shot at and they go, he's gonna win. Trump shits on the stage in front of everybody, he's gonna win. Hulk Hogan rips off he's gonna win. Trump does something racist, he's gonna win. Trump grabs him by the pussy, he's gonna win. Trump beats a case, he's gonna win. Trump loses a case, gets convicted, he's gonna win. I'm tired of that because that is the same group of people. That group is not grown, by which I mean the people that support Trump is a shrinking group. This is not a growing mandate.
Right.
It has been treated that way. And the only reason it's treated that way is because our side is so committed to fucking being the most stubborn, we're gonna lose or ass niggas.
Right.
And I think, okay, well, finally, y'all wanted something to hope for. Y'all wanted younger, y'all wanted a future, y'all wanted racial, y'all wanted a woman. Let's fucking go then.
Let's go.
Because I've never been against that.
Let's go. I don't want to hear no complaining. No heat. Let's go.
In 2020, if we had to rank our choices for who we were voting for, I would have had Kamala over Joe Biden in the primary.
Yes.
So this is not like you're coming to my side, not me coming to yours.
Agreed.
It's sad, and I think always will be angering, is that essentially a white man had to fail so spectacularly for a black woman to get the opportunity.
Yes.
And the only way she's going to get this opportunity is because y'all don't have enough time to take it from her.
Right.
If she gets it. Because I know they're going to try it. You know, like the Clintons came out and endorsed her. I'm seeing people like slowly, you know, endorse. I say slowly, but the people are rolling out the endorsements through social media and stuff. We're rolling with Harris. And I think that's very important and it needs to continue. It'll be interesting to see these fucking right-wing pundits that just told us all day, hey, man, we just support Kamala. This isn't about anything negative with Biden. Don't make it racial. We're not trying to say black people, Okay, fine. Now that you got it, I need you to be running with it the way we running with it then.
Pick up the torch.
Pick up the torch.
And run.
I need y'all to run. Like I said, I need y'all to be Kamala's MAGA.
Yes.
I need y'all to do it. Because, like, y'all wanted this.
Yes.
So since y'all wanted it, I need you to act like you wanted it. I don't need all this like, well, you know, we gotta be fair. You know, nah, it's time for unfair. It's time for stupid over here.
Yes, it is.
I need stupid. Like, you know how we look over there and we be like, look at this dumb motherfucker wearing a wearing a flag lapel and a flag. I need y'all to do that. Okay, yes, I need white people to be offensively stupid. I need y'all to wear AKA pins and us to tell you, take that shit off. You not no AKA, bitch. What you doing? I need y'all to be that level of dumb and enthusiastic. I need pussy hats back.
Yes.
I need it all. I need that because it's the only way I'ma feel better. Y'all can't just be like, I guess. No.
Nope. You better say it with your motherfucking chest.
I guess was for Joe Biden.
Yeah, it was.
Now we need something more than that because it's gonna take more than that to put a black woman in the White House. I guess ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, and not trying to funny. Something else I'm thinking about, all these goddamn celebrities that came out and was like, Joe got to go. Y'all better. I won't see them same fucking ass commercials and TikToks and YouTubes and Instagrams going, well, I guess we're going with Kamala Harris, because I don't want to hear anything short of that. Because like I said, this is what you wanted. You got what you motherfucking want. I don't want to hear no more whining. I don't want to hear no more complaining. I don't want to hear no more flopping. Don't want to fucking hear it.
I like that. Republicans are already mad. Nancy Mace says she plans to introduce a resolution calling on Kamala Harris to invoke the 25th Amendment and assume the duties of acting president. She won't. It won't pass, but I love that they scared. And what they really trying to do is make Harris be president, so she had to do 2 fights at once. That was the thing that they wanted Joe Biden to do. Joe Biden just couldn't fight his own party and Donald Trump at the same time, period. I also saw that at least Stefanik, another Republican, she wants to introduce a resolution condemning Kamala Harris's role as Joe Biden's border czar, leading to the most catastrophic open border crisis in history. Yeah, good. I'm glad y'all mad.
Yeah, because now they're panicking. And the thing is,
because they don't have a game plan against her. I saw that Libs of TikTok account or whatever put out a compilation of like, y'all really want her to be president, and it's just a compilation of her laughing. They don't have shit. They don't have shit on her. The stuff that they have is stuff liberal people might not like. They don't have anything that Republicans don't really like. Not for real,
right?
So yeah, I'm with it. Everyone just needs to get in fucking formation. And the last thing I'll say on that is I'm gonna need y'all to suck Joe Biden's dick, and I mean that in the nice way. Because if you asked him to do this, he didn't have to. He could have just kept staying in and been like, fuck it, I'm gonna lose.
Right.
If y'all don't stop bitching and just get in line, then I'm gonna lose, and it's just gonna be on all of us.
Yeah, he did it.
He did what y'all wanted. I saw Jon Stewart already tweeted legend, so I assume he's saying Joe Biden's a legend for this. Everybody that said you have an opportunity to do the greatest thing ever, Joe Biden, and step down and be a true patriot for the country, I need them thank yous.
Yes.
I need them congratulations.
Y'all better come out full throat with your chest.
I need them apologies. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that out for you because you said this is for you.
Right. This is what you wanted. And none of them didn't. And the surprising thing is a lot of people are shocked. They never really thought he was going to step down. He stepped down. And now they're like, oh, shit, he stepped down. Now what I'm going to do? Bitch, you better come out and say, okay, Joe, we thank you. We thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for your services. You didn't have to do this. Y'all better come out and praise that goddamn man.
I hope he used some of that presidential immunity on these people. You know what I'm saying? I hope he start racking up some crimes. But the other thing, so yeah, I think they owe him the stuff that they said they wanted, because you got your thing. So just go ahead and pay. Give what's due to the man. Because I think if you truly meant that shit, then that he's a great man and an honorable man, then you say that. And I think any Democrat who is considering hopping in this race right now, you better watch the fuck out. Because this shit I'm sure seems interesting. This is a very attractive job. That's why, like I said, I was talking to the homie and he was like, oh, it's like a 3-9 football team. I'm like, no, it's not. It's 9-2. And the reason that shit matters is because at the end of the day, if you're a Democrat and you thinking I could throw my hat in the ring, that means you do know you can run with these accomplishments. That means you do know you can say you have a vision for the country that continues Joe Biden's legacy. No one's running against his legacy. Everybody wants to run on his legacy.
Right.
But they don't want to be him. They want a younger person running on his legacy. I think Kamala Harris is the only person qualified to do that because she's been part of the administration. Whether you think her role was diminished or big enough or not, don't matter. Nobody's role was bigger than hers amongst these candidates. Gretchen Whitmer ain't do that shit. Gavin Newsom ain't do that shit. And the reason I say they need to be careful is because if you beat her, I'm gonna hate you forever, and if you lose a general, nigga, it's on sight.
Yes,
so you can't this isn't like, it would be real short-sighted to think this is just about somehow having an open convention and then coming out of that on top. It's whoever comes out of that will have taken the slings and arrows. It ain't gonna be a coronation. It's gonna be a scrap, and whoever wins will be injured. Like, it will be a lot of motherfuckers who feel usurped. Whereas if you do this before the convention, and then the convention is just a coronation for her, and it looks like you're an actual party with a plan that's in formation, you can walk out of that with unity. People can give speeches, be next person up. Y'all can vie for vice president. Hey, what does this ticket need? What do we need? White people. We need some middle Americans. We need to win a state. We need Michigan. That you might be able to figure something out there to get somebody in. But in general, you step over this black woman and you're stepping over your own political grave unless you fucking win.
Yeah, and
because it's gonna be hard to win with black people arms folded in because some of these states, people forget it came down to Cobb County. That's us.
Right. And like I said, a lot of black people feel betrayed. So don't forget that. They feel betrayed. Yes, they're gonna vote for Kamala. I'm gonna say Kamala.
You can say VP Harris if it's easier for you.
Thank you. Yes, they're gonna keep going for VP Harris. But for a lot of them, they go, I'm voting for Joe. And when I'm saying I'm voting for Joe, it's no knock against her because she wasn't running for president. It doesn't mean you anti-woman or anything. Some of them wanted her on the ticket, but she didn't make it. So they said, cool, I'm going to vote for Joe. So Joe stepped down. Okay, we're here. And you had a lot of black people that came out. As long as Joe said he was running, they came out and they said, we're going to stick behind Joe. Joe steps down. A lot of them feel like me. They're very highly angry and they're very highly upset.
And we'll say this. There's no faster way to confirm that it is only racism than to skip over VP Harris.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's nothing.
There's no way to, because they were making the argument this morning of, no, it has to be Harris. Biden needs to step down. Don't call us racist. You saying us wanting a black woman to be president makes us racist? And people were arguing with them. I didn't argue with any of the people. I said, fuck it. Y'all got y'all's opinions. As I've said before, as long as you say it should be Harris, me and you cool. I don't give a fuck. You could be a white dude. I'm not calling you racist or any of that shit. I actually think that is a fine thing to think. You know what I mean? That it means you believe in white people a little bit more than I do, but that's not a bad thing. You might be right. Okay. My point is, when you say it can't be heard, now what are we talking about?
Right.
Because that is the entire ticket that black people picked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that is you being like, fuck them black people. And they think that we just gonna fall in line, but there's a level of disrespect that niggas ain't taking no more. I don't know if they understand that. That's why I was telling the homie, I was like, listen, I hear what you're saying about like it's a game theory type of situation, and like, hey, what the fuck y'all gonna do? Y'all gotta vote for this. I think that sounded okay in 2012, maybe 2016. I do not think 2020, and maybe I'm wrong, I do not think 2024 is the year you want to test angry black people about whether or not they're gonna vote for some people they don't want to vote for. I just think it would be a huge
miscalculation
for no reason, just an own goal, just a fumble for no reason. It seemed like it should just be Kamala, because that just seems like the simplest, smartest thing with the money. It's the most direct. You have to go out of your way to not do that. And the last thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things to where if you pass her, people are already mad that Joe stepped down. Okay, it's a lot of black people that feel like me. It needs to be a white man off. Okay, we're not gonna get that. Okay, cool. We're not gonna get a white man off. Well, then you're not gonna skip the second person in line just because you happen to be a black woman because you're racist. And if you do, y'all think niggas was upset. Niggas gonna really be upset. It's gonna be and I'm still gonna vote, but it's gonna be a lot of niggas ain't gonna vote. They just not going to vote. They're going to say, fuck this and fuck y'all, and they will not go to the polls.
The last thing I wanted to bring up on this is white women. It's all on y'all now. I'm not one of these people that just consistently always hates on white women, blah, blah, blah. I really do think not enough notice has been given, not enough has been said about how white women have shown up in a better, not completely obviously, but shown up a lot better since Roe v. Wade. They have. It's facts. It's just the truth. And I think that is a good thing. Y'all on the clock. Nobody want to hear no excuses, no bullshit. 100% is just on y'all. Y'all better not fuck this up. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. Like, y'all do not want to fuck this one up because everyone else has gotten information. And I know it wasn't necessarily white women that made this call about Joe Biden. I think a lot of that was white dudes.
Yes.
But, point being, like, hey, don't fuck this off, man. Step up and do the right thing. So I would like to see that happen. Because if not, man, I don't even know what we're going to do if somehow people fuck this up, especially if we see those results and white women have voted at a higher rate for Trump again. I mean, how many times we gotta do this shit, So that would be the main thing that I'm looking at right now is just is y'all gonna do this or not?
That's my thing. Is y'all gonna do this or not? At the end of the day, I'm voting for whoever the candidate is. I said it before and I meant it. That's who I am voting for. The end, period. I only got one vote. I'm going to cast my vote. That's what I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, the onus and the responsibility falls on the voting populace. This is not a game. This is literally life and death for a lot of people. This is literally people's services getting cut off, people losing food stamps, people losing housing, people losing jobs, because Trump has already said he's going to be worse than he was before. Yeah. And, a lot of people remember what it was like when he was there. And I know I do, and I will never forget. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep this man out of office. I am hopeful.
Yeah.
I want everything to run smoothly so we can move on. Because my biggest thing is this. Okay, y'all got what y'all want. Shut the fuck up. Let's vote and let's go. Don't want no more complaints. Y'all didn't want him. They want no more complaints, no more crying, no more flopping, no more hemming, no more harm. Let's get unified and let's get the message out there and let's vote and make sure that Trump never sees another damn as a fucking president of this United States of America.
And I agree with all that, but also, like, I'm really low key, high key, very excited if we get a black woman president. That means a lot to me. I also think it means a lot to the Democratic Party, who owes black women a lot.
Yes, they do.
And I'm just kind of tired of everyone talking around it. Like, it's never gonna be y'all's turn. It's always gonna be somebody else's turn. And I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear nothing else. I really don't. This is it. And I appreciate Joe Biden because I never thought a black woman would get to the White House unless it was with a white man, full black, blocking her way to the end zone. And he has gotten her as close as he can. It is on to us. It's up to us to get her this final 4 yards, this final 3 months. That's on us. And we get to determine what kind of fucking country we live in. But, like, past the anger about how this happened, I have a lot of enthusiasm about Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. And I haven't participated in any of the online back and forth with the shit. I know there's a contingent of these weirdo, ADOS type niggas that just hate her for some reason. I don't talk to hoteps I don't really talk to hoteps.
I don't either.
Not for entertainment, not
real
for
life, online.
Not for edification, not for education.
Don't care.
They got their own thing going over there. They got their own different ways of hating black women and gay people and shit that just ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
So I'm not talking to them about that. I know a lot of y'all have, and I think it leads people to think that she's so unpopular amongst black people, but I think it's overrepresented. That is not true. A lot of that is online fiction. A lot of black people know they bougie Howard auntie. Like that's not some foreign idea to us.
No, that's not.
And also I like that she's kind of a no nonsense, not a flowery, hopeful figure in the Barack Obama sense. A lot of people want a new Barack Obama. In that way, Barack Obama kind of hurt the country, not just in the like backlash from white folks, but in the idea that we needed every politician to be this person that made you feel like a transformation was happening to the country. And we'll never recover from that, unfortunately. Everything's been a hangover from that. And they want to make people pay for not being that kind of candidate. It's honestly why white people love Trump. He makes them feel like Barack Obama made black people feel.
Yes.
And I'm just like, we don't need that. And at this moment, I actually need us to get back to fucking presidenting. I need us to get back to laws. I need us to get back to the things that matter. I want someone with the legal acumen to look at the Supreme Court and go, how the fuck we gonna fix this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need somebody to look at at Congress and be like, we need to pass bills that this Supreme Court can't just undermine. Like a lot of the stuff the Supreme Court is sending back has been like, well, Congress needs to write it more specific. I would like a president that says we're gonna write it more specific. And I like them to have the numbers. So I just hope this next 3 months we can get some fucking enthusiasm. I know we're not out of the woods yet, meaning we got to see where everybody lands with endorsements. We got to see who the fuck, if some asshole tries to throw their hat in the ring. We got to see if there's going to be an open convention and all this stuff. I hope we can avoid that. I really think at this moment, everyone needs to get information because everyone keeps assuming that we got all this time left to figure it out. And I'm telling you,
it's not long.
I'm telling you, y'all have not seen the hell that's going to be unleashed on the person that steps over her. You think it's going to be this easy road with all this positivity and everyone's going to get together.
They'll never hit the end of it.
It's just going to be a ugly, non-momentum, this party is racist and this person that took this nomination is racist thing.
Yes.
I don't think you want to deal with that. Black people run the internet as far as the culture and the conversations, and they won't get off of this. Why do you think Caitlin Clark gets so much hate? Right? And I don't mean because the right-wing trolls about Angel Reese. We know those are right-wing trolls. We know we don't have to engage with them, but black people aren't giving up that fight. So it's become a racial fight about those two, about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark every fucking day. In real life, they not even beefing like that. Just won the All-Star game together for Team WNBA, gushing over each other, having fun. Caitlin look like she having fun. The point is, the discussion and the tenor and the feel of it, that shit happens when black people get involved, and then the discussion turns into something else. I would like this not to go that way because by y'all throwing in some motherfucker at the last second where it's like, nah, actually, Gretchen Whitmer, Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, or some other motherfucker is running.
Right, half the country don't know.
Yeah, or that doesn't have a national platform in that way or access to the money. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, dog, I'm not picking up my phone to donate to them people. I don't know them. We've been giving our money to one side over here, to one place. We using that money. Y'all got the money. Make it enough, you know?
Make it enough.
So yeah, I really think I'm in a calmer place. I think it was more like a shocking, like I've never seen this happen. You know, the dreaded may you live in interesting times shit where I'm just like, it could be a little less interesting. I'd be okay with that. Maybe a little boring times. Like I like some boring, peaceful.
Oh yeah,
everything goes as planned times, but we don't got that. So, you know, at first I was shocked by that, and I was, you know, I'm still gonna. I think I'll always be a little bit angry that motherfuckers just really couldn't understand why the candidate doesn't need to be inspiring. The times are inspiring to me. You're not inspired by the lack of access to abortion. You're not inspired by the affirmative action being overturned. You're not inspired by the fact that our voting rights may be non-existent if we continue this. You're not inspired by the 10 commandments being in classrooms in Alabama or whatever state that was. You're not inspired by the attack on trans people in our society. You're not inspired by the possibility that gay marriage will be a thing of the past. Marriage equality will be done. You're not inspired by that. You're not inspired by all this 2025 shit. You're not inspired by Donald Trump getting on stage and saying the horrible things he's going to do to this country and to his opponents. That don't inspire you. You waiting on, you still, after all that, you need like a person to come and tell you, get hype. That's crazy to me because that inspires me. Every day I wake up, I don't want to see those things come to pass in my country. As long as I'm alive, as long as I'm here.
Ain't that the truth?
So for me, it's never, it's been upsetting because this wasn't fantasy football for me. In the way that it clearly is for a certain type of white person. It just, that's the facts. That's what it is. Certain type of white people, this shit is based, they gambling. You know, literally saw Nate Silver on social media talking about placing a bet on the election with somebody. That's where we're at. Like to them, no matter how many polls and shit they into, at some level they're like, I'm gonna be okay either way. So let's get crazy. Let's sub out the quarterback. You know what I mean? It's kind of still gambling for them. Aaron Sorkin, screenwriter, director, wrote a New York Times op-ed today that said he wanted the Democrats to introduce Mitt Romney as their candidate at the DNC this year. Like Joe Biden should step down.
Someone serious.
This is fantasy football to you.
Yeah, that's not serious.
This was fantasy foot. All you're letting me know is you're not in this the same way I'm in this. Because that's not a serious idea, but it's also an offensive idea.
Yes.
And I want to take that moment to point out, I'm glad he wrote it. Everybody that hasn't been telling you what candidate they're going to back to take Biden's place, that has been strategic, and people have kind of written that off. Even the people that have written into our show to say Biden should step down never named who should step up.
Yeah, they have not.
Right? I voted for Ross Perot and well, that's not who's running now. You want him to step down. What's the plan after that? You just want him to step down, right? Okay. So I'm glad he wrote that because it crystallized something for me. You know why they don't want to say who? I thought it was because, they know about the racism in Kamala Harris. That might be part of it. That's not, but I don't think that's the real part. I think it's kind of like saying, you fan cast it in your head. If I say, I just think Joe Biden should step down, he can't do the job. And then I go, well, who should step up? And then you go, anybody can do better than him. The point of them saying that is for me to go, oh yeah, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, Pete Buttigieg, but the point is, the real point of that is I actually don't know why you want him to step down and what direction you want the country to go. Because I'm gonna assume it's whatever direction I want it to go, right? Mm-hmm. If I told you close your eyes, I'm like, Joe Biden should step down. You go, who should replace him? I go, anybody. Anybody in your mind is some list of people, right? I didn't tell you who. What if I told you Joe Biden should step down for Mitt Romney? Now you're like, shut the fuck up. What are you even talking about? That's crazy. Then he shouldn't even step down. If that's all you have to offer, then shut the fuck up, right? That's just a conservative. That's not even a Democrat at that point, right? So the assumption has been that, especially online, if you live in a very liberal bubble like I do, it's for some super liberal person. It's AOC. You know, it's someone from the squad. It's someone from California. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the DEI mayor in Baltimore or whatever. Like it's always like something, like your imagination can reach the sky, but the limits of the white imagination are so small, and it is still harboring on that central idea that there is some middle ground that me and the person that hates me can reach.
No, we can't.
Together. And all I'm saying is the same thing I've been saying for 4 years. That person that found that middle ground, that was Joe Biden.
Yes.
There's not like you waiting on white people to feel good about a candidate again. Motherfucker, you can't have that. That is over. Those days are over. The days where the swing voter who somehow is swinging between Donald Trump and whatever Democrat is up, that person is swinging conservative. If they're a white person in the middle of America and they can even fathom I might vote for Trump, they won't they're not swinging to Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. We got to give that up.
Right.
And they're not swinging to Gavin Newsom. They're not swinging to anybody. If they're not even swinging to Mitt Romney. They had a chance to have Mitt Romney.
Yes, they did.
And they said, we want Trump. Trump make us feel better than Mitt Romney. So I just think that shit is over. So if this is an admission that shit is over and we're in it together, let's run Kamala Harris and let's fucking do this. And I won't do too much on the VP thing, but I brought it up to a friend that I think it should be Pete Buttigieg, or I would like to see that. And she told me all the reasons it shouldn't be, and that's fine. She's probably right. I'm probably wrong. But the bigger point I want to make is, let's lean into it then. If it's a fight, it's a fight. What the fuck are we doing over here? Why are we always talking about losing?
Right.
Let's go gay young dude that can talk good, real good, and talk that shit. Fuck it. Let's go why don't we ever go all the way with our shit? We always trying to figure, like, we now have a chance to fan cast our VP, and we're already like, it better be the straightest, oldest white man. Well, then make Biden the VP. Right. Let's fucking do it then, man. Make it Big Gretch. Oh, they won't vote for 2 women. Fuck them. They weren't going to vote for 1. Why are we worried?
Yes.
It's either gonna vote. Right. This is it. We at the end. This the end game. We pushing it all on the table now. Either we have the enthusiasm to do it or we don't. Biden was never about Biden. When I thought Biden could beat Trump, and I still do, it's not that I think Biden can beat Trump because I think he's such a great candidate. I think what we are beating is the Republican agenda. That is the thing that should motivate everybody to say, I need to go vote. And that means any of these candidates should be the person to do it. I didn't get caught up on the bullshit. Y'all did. I already said whoever it is I'm with. So if the whole thing is like, fuck it, we have to push it, we have to go further, this Trump shit is too scary, then let's go further, man. I would like to see like a VP that's actually, makes people feel like a little bit dangerous. I want people to go, ooh, the fucking liberals getting crazy over there. Let's do it. I'd like to see it now. Probably gonna be some milquetoast white man with 2 first names that we ain't never heard of. Scott Timms, Avery, Mike Avery. It's always some motherfucker we never heard of that from West Virginia or some shit. It's gonna be some weird, but whatever it is, I'm with it. I just would like to see us like really fight for this.
Agreed.
Anything else to add for this topic?
Since we've been talking, I'm still angry. We'll forever be angry. A little bit calmer, but still gonna be angry.
Yeah, I went through all these. I went through all this. You were just asleep.
I'm,
and I can see you very upset.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am, and I said what I meant, and I meant what I said, child. A lot of people are gonna be on the list, and it's gonna be the smoke forever.
Yeah, I've had to and decided to, for my own mental health, I just have to have a level of detachment from all this. And also, I'm tired. I'm not arguing with people that I kind of agree with. It just doesn't make sense. Talking to Keith Malley or Keith and the girl, and when he's like, yeah, Biden should drop out. That debate was so bad. It scared me, blah, blah, blah. I have no ill will towards it. I don't go, you fucking racist white man. I don't feel that way because I'm like, I'm scared too. And I saw that too. And you know what? If you get your way and he drops out, I'm cool with that as long as you are saying we should do Vice President Harris.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, that's who else was anyone considering? I said, well, that's why you cool.
Right. That's why you good.
This is a thing where we can be on the same page and be excited about it. I've never been committed to Biden on I just love me some Biden. That's just not that's not my ministry because I don't get attached to candidates in that way.
Right.
So it wasn't about inspiration or I'm thankful. I think he's a good dude. I think he did a good job. It's not that part. Like, it's nothing negative I had to say about him. But I knew he was old when you voted for him the first time.
Right. This so is no surprising.
Yeah, the break, like, it's more of a like, damn, I've never seen our media weaponized like this against somebody. Mm-hmm. And of course, it does make you wonder what would have happened if they would have even fucking tried to do this with Trump. Because, I mean, you know, the sexual assaults, the cover up, the January 6th, the refusing to admit that you lost the election, the many lies, the mishandling of COVID, the obviously scandals that happened in and outside of the White House, the conviction that he had with 34 felonies, the sexual assault trial that he actually lost in civil court twice. Any of these moments could have been a moment where the media decided we are saying to the Republican Party, this guy needs to step down. Any moment could have been that moment. Any moment you could have done all the off the record things that Republicans say behind his back, which we do know happen because there's books about them. You could have reported those as breaking news. Hey, breaking news, sources close to Trump are saying he should drop out of the race because he tried to steal, right? They didn't. And now you've shown me you could have and you can. So what were you so comfortable with over there that you said, nah, I don't need to?
Mm-hmm. And anybody that did, they got drummed out of the motherfucking party.
Yeah, but why were you so, I'm talking about media specifically. Why are you so comfortable with that? You know? Where was the discomfort? Where was the constant drone of like, this man is unpresidential. He cannot be president. I'm not talking about we're not going to play his press conference or whatever. I mean an actual like, hey,
some investigation.
What week did the New York Times take even once to publish 6 op-eds in a day to say Trump should step down? Even once. Nothing he's ever done has risen to bad debate status.
Right.
The man has nothing but bad debates, if we're being honest. He sits up there and lies and yells and lies and yells. We know they're bad. And yet we didn't have any national reckoning with this man. Mm-hmm. Not even when we saw him try to fucking usurp the presidency on January 6th. Not even then did we have a national reckoning of this motherfucker here got to go. Mm-hmm. Nope. So I think when I say it's upsetting, it's, oh, so you could do it. You just would only do it to this dude who got too old. But this other old motherfucker, we just got to live with that.
Old nigga.
We got to wait till November and see if the people vote him not president. You know, no court is ever going to hold him to that. We just got to talk. We just got to hope that enough of us have some fucking sense. That's insane. But all that being said, I know it sounds counterintuitive to a lot of people, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I feel so hopeful right now. And if this is the feeling that people was hoping would come out of him stepping down, then I guess in that way you are right, because I do feel hopeful about Kamala Harris, and I feel hopeful about the Democrats' chance to win. I felt that they were going to win already just off of the coverage is really doing a lot to make it seem like it's a mandate on Trump that the numbers are not justifying.
Right.
And polls are not what polls were 40 years ago when you polled 40% of people that answered the calls when you called. And now there's like 4% of people answering, and we're still extrapolating the information as if it is. If polls have been wrong for at least 6 years. No, because polls had Hillary over Trump. Mm-hmm. So polls have been off and wrong for a minute.
Yes,
right?
They have.
And so we know they're not necessarily accurate in determining how people vote. And I've been quietly feeling very optimistic and hopeful this whole time, because I said, ooh, they're really downplaying that Trump's not gaining voters, and that what he's doing is just looks like a lot of unity because the party has decided to bend over for him. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to just people voting, we actually have a lot of evidence that Democratic voters are still voting Democrat and turning out in off-cycle times when turnout is down.
Yeah, the people are, even though overall it's always been low.
Right.
People.
But I mean, it's low for both parties, right?
Yes.
Democrats are winning those.
Yeah.
The last so Biden's been since 20. So I want to say since whenever they said the red wave. So I want to say 2018.
Yeah, when
is
they
the red wave.
Yeah, and it was not a red wave.
Yeah, I want to say that was 2018, but whatever that was, polls have consistently undercounted Democrats, overcounted Republicans. All because they're trying to adjust back to we didn't see MAGA coming, so now we got to figure out we're going to predict the next time MAGA wins, and they just haven't been winning. These special elections, Democrats been winning, cleaning up.
Yeah, because voters mad because the IVF in the row is really a lot of people that basically I'm gonna stay out of politics. Y'all don't care. I don't give a fuck. Wait a minute. And then a lot of people start thinking, if y'all gonna take this, people start thinking y'all gonna take my right to birth control. Y'all gonna start stripping out, because it's not gonna stop at birth control. It's gonna strip out for condoms and all type of shit. Like they gonna be like, y'all gonna be having these babies to be, and a lot of women is like, fuck that.
Yeah, and so I feel hopeful. I feel like that's a taboo thing to say on our side because one, you're never supposed to be hopeful. That means you're not a real liberal,
right?
And then two, you're never supposed to. You can't. What if I'm wrong? Then I'm wrong.
Then I'm wrong.
We all suffer together. What if y'all was wrong about replacing Biden? What the best thing in the world for everyone right now is to get behind this and feel some level of enthusiasm and allow themselves to be hopeful about the future. If you just did all this change for us to feel more pessimistic and to continue disaster baiting and selling me misery, then I'm out. I don't want to deal with that. So I actually feel hopeful. The idea of a black woman president makes me smile. As far as just the moment that will be, but at the end of the day, still gonna be a president. And for everybody that's like super activist, aggressive, freedom type folk, understand a president is just the person you push. I'd rather push Kamala Harris than Donald Trump. I saw what y'all did under Donald Trump, and y'all stopped pushing.
Yeah,
y'all didn't do shit. I saw y'all. Y'all stopped marching.
What's the point? Because when he came into office holding Bibles upside down, clearing the streets and saying go out there and whoop their asses, shit stopped.
Right. So yeah, there's some updates. I guess I should read. There's like a Politico has a breaking thing, even though like a Republican leaning thing that really pushed this whole thing. But Hakeem Jeffries has expressed hope that the party can reunite after this. Let's see, the head of the Black Caucus, Representative Joyce Beatty out of Ohio, said that she's endorsing Kamala Harris. There are some Dems who are in swing states or in tough elections that haven't said they endorsed her yet, but I think we need to stop counting those type of folks because a lot of them just doing whatever they can to try to win right now.
Ain't that the truth?
So I don't like them saying they wanted Biden out was less about them actually wanting Biden out and more about their precarious slippage in their polls and stuff there.
Right, they're trying to win again.
I really want to hear what AOC says about it because I think she's been the sharpest amongst us. And Jasmine Crockett came out. She put out a statement. She, of course, endorsed Harris. And she said something that I think people need to pay attention to in that statement because she ended it with, if it ain't Harris, I'm not marching and I'm not doing all this work for no one else. And I'm just telling you, I don't know why everyone's downplaying that shit and they don't understand how dangerous that is. The ground game don't ground without black women. It just ain't gonna work. All the inroads and shit, and all it takes is black women being like, I'm not doing this. I'm a vote, but I'm not doing the call bank. I'm not doing the marching. I'm not doing the campaigning. We can't afford that. So yeah, that was someone else. Oh yeah, I said the Clintons endorsed her. That's major to me because Barack still hasn't endorsed her, even though he thanked Biden and them in a statement.
I think somebody said he probably won't say nothing until next month.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I think what could be very helpful and effective is if actually some of these people, if she's kind of coronated at the DNC, if some of these people give some really great speeches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if Obama or Michelle or somebody, I don't know, Michelle won't do it, but just saying, just me throwing it out there. I don't know shit. But if some of these people give these in full-throated endorsement and flowery campaign speeches and stuff, because I really do think it would go a long way to have that hope and change type speech made for her, because she's not a hope and change type person. She's never sold herself that way. And so I think other people can do it for her. So what are you gonna say?
Two things. First of all, I said it before and I will say it again. I apologize to AOC. Because AOC got on my goddamn nerves when she first showed up on the scene. I was one of them people like, bitch, what is happening here? You're irritating. You're just talking. The fuck is this? Like she just crawled up beneath my skin because I just could not comprehend or understand. It's like, get with the program. But I shout out to Nancy Pelosi because that woman helped me completely understand her purpose and her reasoning in the party. So she saw something that I could not see. You need her voters. You need her voice, because there are a lot of people that feel just like she does. You actually need her. You need the squad. You need them all, because just because it's different, just because it doesn't go with the program, doesn't make it not valuable, and it doesn't mean it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we're a coalition. So we all don't like Trump. Okay, cool. You feel a different, but like this, we 1 degree, 3 degrees, 5 degrees off. Fuck it. We still on the same page overall. We still got the same goals overall. And so, but also, I also give AOC credit for going through the growing pains of catering towards Twitter. Because when she first came on, that's what she catered to. Yeah, she had a voting population, but she was spending a lot of time on Twitter. It took her being burnt by them, and it took the realization that them people ain't in her district, and they're not voting for her. It took her going through that, and the biggest thing for her and the squad, it took January the 6th. And they was like, oh, these motherfuckers coming after all us? Yes, all of you. They don't give a fuck. You're on the opposite side. And the thing is, it did not cause them to change their stance. It did not cause them not to push. It did not cause them to flip-flop on their morals. All they did was like, okay, I got a better view. I got a better picture of what's happening here. And also, I think it took them running and losing seats to realize, if I want to do something within the party, I can't just come in here roughshod. Like we all have got to get along. And getting along also means them adjusting to me and me adjusting to them. Like it's a two-way street here. And so I appreciate her still being young, still having these radical ideas, still coming out here pushing the party, still catering towards the younger voters. Like I appreciate them all doing that, because like I say, that voting populace does matter. And there are a lot of people that she drew into the party, a lot of younger people that otherwise they wouldn't even be here. So I appreciate her for that. And I appreciate her coming out and being like, hey, y'all, this shit ain't easy. And actually teaching them, this is how it runs. This is the rules. Like actually showing them this shit ain't as easy as posting tweets and all this other bullshit. You actually got to do the work. So when they began to attack her, she was like, hey, y'all attacking me. These are the things that go along with this, and get your ass out and vote and do something. If y'all, you know what I mean? Like I appreciate that from her. So I do apologize to that lady, because when that lady first came out, oh, she used to get on my goddamn nerves.
Okay. You said two things. That was
it. You talking about speeches? I want George Clooney's speech. As loud and proud as your ass came out that time, George, damn speech.
I did want to add another thing. The GOP, I think, is actually at a loss right now, because they clearly prepared for Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think it it really puts the Democrats in an advantage, because all they're going to try to do is tie her accomplishments and Joe Biden's accomplishments together, and that's not that strong. So I really do hope that
they got the shock, because they was like, oh my God, we didn't prepare for this.
Yeah, I really do hope that helps them, because right now they're just saying stuff like, well, Kamala Harris's legacy is basically the same as Joe Biden's. It's like, but it's not. It's not, and that's not going to work. So now what are you going to do? When it's really time to get down to brass tacks, it's like you're going to have to actually have something to say about her. And this shit won't cut the mustard of just like, fuck her because she's Joe Biden to us. Like, no,
she's not Joe.
So I'm actually kind of excited about that idea, and because I just think they haven't even thought about a game plan when it comes to her. Like I said, maybe I'll be wrong or whatever, but I kind of doubt it. And like I said, I'm kind of excited, low key, about all this stuff. So good luck to all of us. I don't have anything extra to say or whatever. I don't want to do any other topics. I figured most people just were waiting on us to discuss this. So it was a matter of would we discuss it or not, and what we would have to say. And I think, this is what I have to say. So anything else to add before we get out of here?
I've said my piece. That's truly, how I feel. I'm going to vote for whoever the person is, no matter who it is. I'm looking forward to see. This literally might be one of the first times I might actually watch the fucking DNC. Because other than this, I wasn't going to watch. What the fuck I'm going to watch it for? But I actually may watch it this time just to see what they do. Because what they do here will actually, it is going to really, really matter to the future of the party. Like literally the future of the party. I do not think, and I'm going to keep it real, never underestimate the power of Black women. And if y'all do and take them for granted in mass by skipping over VP Harris, it's going to be very devastating to the party, more devastating than they realize. And because in mass, like 98, 99%, 95% Black women voters, we the backbone of this party. Don't fuck us over.
And let me say this too, because like I said, I was talking to the homie who doesn't think she's like the greatest candidate or whatever. And, it's like, oh, but this person and that person, Swiffer. And I said, you know what? Nah, we don't have time for that. Coach her up. That's what we got time for. If you think she's lacking in some area, if you think she need to come across better on camera, now is the motherfucking time to sit her in a room and give her that candidate makeover, whatever the fuck else y'all do to make Joe Biden, old crypt keeper ass, look like a regular person. Y'all got the money for that. Y'all, and no offense to Joe Biden, I'm so sorry if he's listening, but
I'm with
you know my point. Like, we make, like, we had Joe out there tanned up, ready to go. Let's do that. Like, make it enough. Then
make it enough.
I don't want to hear.
I didn't donate for nothing. I don't get 45 Texas for nothing. Train up.
I don't want to hear all these excuses and shit. It's always some another hoop to jump through. Then make her come across better. You sit down and y'all grill. She don't gotta be president. She just run it. So whatever fucking war room shit, whatever scenarios to sit her in, whatever questions to ask, now is the motherfucking time. We're crash coursing. This is the exam. It's exam time. I forgot Van Jones did cry about this after, all the stuff he did all week, basically demagoguing Democrats and Joe Biden saying to step down. So
even people who are pushing for this to happen, it's kind of like,
which is you were one of the ones pushing for it to happen. Okay, here we go.
Who are pushing for this to happen. It's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys. You got to take his keys. You got to, and he's fighting and everybody's so frustrated. And then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry. because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody that you care about. This is somebody who was there for you. This is somebody you wouldn't be here without him. And you have to take something from him. Now, this is not, look, this politics is politics, but this is a human moment for one of the great humans in America. This is a huge moment for him, for his family, for all of us who love him, for all of us who wanted him to get across the finish line. But if you're a young person watching this, this is leadership. This is patriotism. This is what it means to put the country first and put the party first and put the cause first. When your arm gets tired, you let somebody else finish pitching the game. That's what Joe Biden has done, and he's done that for all of us. And so I just want to say, I don't know who's going to be the VP, the non-VP. I don't know anything about politics. I just know that I love this man. I care about this man. It was painful every day to sit up here and talk about him like he's just a, some problem for the party.
You didn't have to. You made a choice, sir. What the fuck are we talking about here?
They put a gun to his head and made him get on TV, Karen. Everybody knows that.
To the convention, you're going to see people crying, standing, screaming, cheering. He may not get a chance to talk for 10 minutes. We finally get a chance to put our arm around this guy. He did the right thing for this country. He did the right thing for this party. All of us are going to be.
Oh, I didn't think about that optically, though. That could be really dope. Joe Biden giving a speech at the convention for Kamala Harris.
I think he will.
That would be a dope moment. But yeah,
in this situation someday, and I hope that we take a moment to honor this man and to love this man. And I love Joe.
One thing about Van, he gonna cry like it's the third act of a Pixar movie every motherfucking time he get on TV. That man, that brother, that Van Jones tears is worthless. Like you know what I mean? Like you could not sell a bottle of his tears. They'd be like, we got too many. It's a surplus of Van Jones tears right here.
We ain't got room for no more.
Yeah, we are actually out of stock, like out of room in the stock room.
Cause they ain't moving. They ain't pushing like they used to.
Like, what is Van Jones like at a Pixar movie? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is he just like crying and it's just like flooding the bottom of the movie theater and everybody has to move up a row? Cause it's like, yo, is it a flood in here? And he's like,
why are my feet wet?
He's like, oh, here I go. And he just starts, out of like Kathy, I just dated myself with that. Right? All right, let's get out of here, guys. We'll talk to y'all. Talk to y'all later. Until next time. Hopefully no more crazy news starts.
I hope not, nigga. I hope not. This was enough waking up from a nap.
Yeah, hopefully this is it. All right, y'all. We'll talk to you next time. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.